to Fromania Bricks, and welcome back to the world's fanciest Lego recording studio in our house on the second floor.
In this room.
In this room. Every time. Every time. And welcome back to the table, where we are about to review for you an exciting Lego set, and we're about to unveil to you an exciting new Lego review process here at Fromania Bricks. But before we talk about any of those things, Micah, you know it's coming. I've been thinking, and I've got a question for you. What did Darth Vader ask Emperor Palpatine before going to the Star Wars auction?
What?
What is thy bidding, my master?
That's really good.
What I don't know is if he was able to buy something this epic at the Star Wars auction. But in front of us is indeed something this epic. It is the Lego Star Wars Jango Fett's Slave One Starship. Now, we're going to start a whole new thing here at Fromania Bricks, and we're going to begin to structure our reviews. So every Lego set from here on out that we're going to share with you all on our channel, we're going to have a new uniform process and way of reviewing these sets for you. It is the Fromania Bricks Super Proprietary, Ultra Precise Lego Reviewing System. So hang out with us here for a couple of minutes as we apply the new Fromania Bricks Super Proprietary, Ultra Precise Lego Review System on Jango Fett's Slave One. Now, in this review system that we're going to begin to do, we're going to look at 5 different items each time we record. The first of those items is the overall design and aesthetic of the set. What is the visual design aesthetic of the set? The second is the build experience. What was it like not only building this set, but how solid of a set was it? The third item that we're going to explore is the minifigures. We're going to talk about the minifigures, their exclusivity. Were the right characters included with this? Do we like how they were designed? But we're going to look at the minifigure design. After that, we're going to look at the functions that the set has. Some are made just to sit and look at, and some have some really cool function and motion elements. So we're going to talk about the functions of the set. And then the last thing of our 5-point Super Proprietary, Ultra Precise Lego Review System is the value. What do we think the value is? Not just your price per piece, but do we really think that this set is worth the value that was put on it? Each of those categories are going to be ranked on a 1 to 10 scale, with a total max score available to every set being 50. And that way, at the end of every video, you'll be able to tell just where these sets stack up with the Fromania Bricks Super Proprietary, Ultra Precise Lego Review System. We're going to have to come up with an acronym. That is so long and so hard to say. All right, in front of us, Micah, is the Jango Fett Slave One. Couple of quick facts before we start on this. When did this set release?
2002, April of 2002.
April 2002. Do you have any idea how long it was on the shelves for?
Well, actually, that was when it was added on Brickset. I don't know when it was officially released.
All right. Well, sometime around the 2002 time frame, this hit shelves. There were 2 different iterations. There was one that was just the box and ship, and there was one that came with this fancy-dancy carrying case. Fancy-dancy?
Fancy-dancy.
I made that up, just like Nancy.
Gotta go with it.
We're stuck now. Could have edited it out, but nope. It's in there now. Let's start with the first item, the visual design of this set. Micah, when I first saw this set, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that Joker is ugly. And there was nothing visually appealing to me about this set. When you look at it at first, like, what's your first take when you first saw this set?
It's endearing. I do want to highlight the box, too, because the visual design of the old boxes was really cool. Even, like, in the back, they'd encourage kids to take it apart and build, like, a mech suit and stuff.
Yes, and the instruction book art matches the box art. We are a big fan of this.
Yes.
Because if you don't keep the box when the book matches, then you've got a cohesive image to remember. I mean, It wasn't visually appealing to me in the beginning. The more that I've looked at it, the more I've seen it on your shelves, I think the more I've come to respect the visual design of it. Like, Lego had a lot more limited parts to work with in 2002, right? They did not have the same amount of parts that they were working with. I think they did okay with what they had. But when you look at our super proprietary, ultra precise Lego review system, how would you rate this? Like, where would it fall in the visual aesthetic of this set?
I mean, so you do have to consider this isn't Boba Fett's. While it is the same ship, but it was repainted, so it's not supposed to look just like all the other slave ones. It did have some of these other different colors, and it is, I mean, it's rough. It is, but it's also really, really old by Lego standards, by Star Wars standards. So, I give it like maybe a 6.5. Because I want to be honest, it doesn't look as good as the UCS Star Destroyer.
So are we going to do half points?
And it's not supposed to. Yeah, I'm doing 6.5.
Half points are allowed. I would have given it a 5. It doesn't matter because I'm not the one rating it. I would have given it a 5. Except for you have the carry case.
Yeah.
And this displayed with the carry case elevates the aesthetic because it's a really cool boss move. You're like, Lego set, briefcase, boom. And it actually makes it pretty cool. But we're going to land at that. I say Micah's going to land at that. We're going to give this a 6.5 out of 10 possible points for visual design.
Now, if you could factor the box...
We're factoring the whole thing.
If you're factoring the design of the box, then I give it like... Oh, I love these boxes. 9.5.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, the box is not in the store.
We'll compromise it to do 8.
Okay, we'll give it an 8. Combined model and box, we're going to give it an 8. It would have been a 6.5.
I love the old boxes so much.
So here's the deal with our super proprietary, ultra precise review system. We can change as we go. So on our older sets, we will sometimes include the box in the overall visual design. That may not always be the case, but this is our super proprietary, ultra precise system. If you don't like it, you can make your own and we'll watch. Like, we will absolutely watch and we'll like and we'll subscribe. But this is ours. So we landed at 8. 8 out of a possible 10. Let's talk about build experience on this. Did you buy this pre-owned or was this new?
This was bought pre-owned, but I did break it down and rebuild it.
Yep, so I will say build experience, we cannot ding it because it's a harder build experience when it is pre-owned.
For sure.
So we're just talking about actually building the ship. Were there any challenging technical build parts of this?
I don't remember super well the build experience. What I do remember is the instructions. It's so hard to tell the grays apart. Like I like the dark gray looks like black, and the light gray looks like dark gray. So,
and what about build? Like, is there anything that breaks off, or is it a pretty solid
not really.
build?
One of my things is cracked, so it doesn't hold quite.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
But no, it holds together well.
So I can swoosh it.
Yeah.
Swoosh. It does feel swooshable. So it is a solid build. It is a build that you could pick up and play with if you weren't concerned with how much you paid for this set. You could play with this set. So it is a solid build.
Now, what I am going to say is I don't think there's any Technic structure. So if you're flying it and it falls, it's probably going to explode.
I mean, if you're flying it and it falls, I see what you mean about the grays being really close in here. All right, so what are we going to give it on a build experience?
Building experience, I don't remember the build super well, so I'll give it a 7.
A 7.
7.
7 out of 10. That it's probably just dinging it because of the instructions.
Oh yeah, actually, 6.5.
Ooh.
Because the instructions were brutal.
Man, all right, so 6.5 on the build. So we've got an 8 on design, a 6.5 on build. Let's move on to minifigures. We've got 2 minifigures here. I see that we have Jango Fett and
Young Boba Fett.
Wait, what? This is Boba?
Yeah, it's Boba. That's Kid Boba.
This is Kid Boba?
I also want to note, Jango came with black hair, but I accidentally left in my room. But you could have put hair on him.
Okay. Both of these are pretty cool looking minifigs. I feel like they're the figs that should have come with it.
That's about it.
This is a single pilot craft, technically, correct?
Yeah, well, Boba can kind of go in there with it, too. But, yeah.
But it was designed in life as a single pilot craft.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Because, like, but him and Boba are kind of flying together in the movie, if I remember right.
Is Boba, like, an adopted son of Jango Fett?
He was cloned, remember, on Kamino? Part of his payment for doing the cloning was he was cloned from Jango.
Boba Fett is a clone?
Yes.
Boba Fett's a clone?
Yeah, he's an exact clone of Jango. They decided that, like, years and years after.
You guys have been keeping secrets. You all have been keeping... He's a clone?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I honestly need a couple of minutes to figure out my emotions on this.
Yeah, and then, so on the back of the box, you can see it advertises with it.
I'm not ready to see the back of the box.
The Obi-Wan Starfighter, so Obi-Wan would have been a character that they coulda, woulda, shoulda included, but he came in that would have been out at the same time, so it's forgiven.
I don't know how I feel about this. I honestly don't know how to emotionally process that Boba Fett is a clone.
Yeah, he's a clone of Jango Fett.
Huh? I mean, is Boba and Jango, are these... I don't even want to touch him. I feel like...
You feel betrayed.
I feel totally betrayed. Are these desirable minifigures? Other than the fact that it's a clone. It's not even real.
Is not really desirable. We were at Bricks and
Of course he's not desirable.
I think they had him for like $25. Jango Fett, on the other hand, is one of the most desirable Star Wars figures. He goes for like $200 to $250.
Wait, this guy does?
Yeah.
That's like purebred bounty hunter blood.
Yeah.
No wonder they're cloning off of that. $200?
And his helmet was exclusive, arms were exclusive, torso was exclusive, head was exclusive, and I'm not sure on the legs.
Does he have arm print?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't even have arm print?
I think the legs might have been... I don't know what the story of the legs is.
He's pretty basic for $200.
Yeah, he is, but he's endearing.
Ooh,
and
I feel like it's going to scratch his face putting that off and on.
And you can turn the head around so you can have his face peeking through, put the hair on it that I forgot, or you can just have it like a blank face.
So it feels like this helmet could really scratch this face up if done incorrectly.
Oh, maybe. It's an expensive face.
Alright, so how are you rating the minifigs?
So, I love the Jango Fett minifigure, and Boba ain't bad either. There's figures I like more, so 8.5, I guess. I really, really like these figures.
Yeah, I mean, I think 8.5 is a fair score. They didn't omit something that should have been in the set. The ones that they gave were well designed. So, especially for 2002.
Yeah. And this was before Cloud City Boba Fett, so technically they weren't printing arms yet. It would have been nice if they would have printed his legs, I guess, would be the one thing.
So an 8.
So an 8.
All right.
Go 8.
So we've got an 8, a 6.5, and an 8. Moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the functions of this ship. Now, when we talk about functions, we're talking about almost just playability. What can you do with it? Does it work well? Is it cool? What does this ship do other than fly? Did I scare you?
I mean, I didn't have time to be scared. So, this actually has a ton of stuff that you can do with it. There's a little crate that comes out of the bottom.
Oh.
In the Republic gunship,
What?
I think I read that something calls it a prison. There's one in white in the Republic gunship set. And I think it was a visual dictionary that referred to it as a prison. But I use it for storage because I have extra little bombs that I put in it a lot.
Are these in any other sets?
I think
other
they
than the
are.
white one.
I'm sure they are.
Wait, it's a magnet?
Yeah, it's a magnet. It sticks in with a magnet. See?
Oh.
Isn't that epic? And whoop.
We're trending the right direction with this guy.
Then, kind of a play function. When you lift it, the seat, we've got...
Yeah, at auto levels. So you can
levels.
see the seat in there. It will auto level. Look. Whoop. 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 The arms do the same thing, so when he's landing...
And you can adjust the little winglets. They move. That's not really a play function.
Winglet? They're really called winglets?
I don't know. That's probably... No,
I feel like that's something you get at the chicken restaurant. Can I get the winglets, please?
Came with little doors on either side that you could use to store... At one point, I had Jango Fett's hair stored in one of those. You can also put, like, his blasters in there if you want. And here... There's this. The Republic gunship has something similar in it, too. I don't know what the deal with that is. And there's these little missiles that you could take out and go...
This has so much going on.
Probably shouldn't have done that to my $200 Jango, but... Yeah, okay, so there's more. There's actually like...
Wait, there's more!
So on the sides, there's little missile launchers that kind of pop out. Let me see if I can get it to cooperate. Yep.
What in the world?
Yeah, so they're like little missiles. That, now, you're not really supposed to pull them off. You can. But you can do that. Then this is actually a more significant function than the other ones. So if you pick it up, and then you can arrange your unfortunate guys down here, and... boom.
What?
Bombs. And then actually, there's a compartment up top to load them in from. Only problem is you have to reset it, because it gets popped up every time you launch them.
I'm sorry, I know that you're supposed to be rating this, but from a function standpoint, I'm giving this a solid 10.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 10. That's why this is actually my favorite set that I own right now, I think. Because it's like, so I love how the new sets are super realistic, and from far away you wouldn't even know they're Lego because they're so real to what they're supposed to be. But back then it was like, yeah, it's rough around the edges of how it looks. But it was a toy, and a kid, you could play with this thing for hours. There was all sorts of stuff, because it worked. It was a toy, and it did what it needed to do.
This is
That's
incredible.
a solid 10 out of 10.
Well, moving on to the last phase of the Fromania Bricks Super Proprietary Ultra Precise Lego Review System. Let's talk about value.
Doesn't do good here.
Now on this set, it is kind of interesting, because this is a 2002 set, which is $2,002. Not $2,002, but... dollars in 2002.
Although if you're buying a sealed one of the carrying case, it can be like, I think, $1,500 to $2,500. It's like really expensive. No. When it's open, it's not worth anywhere near that. You can let me keep it.
In 2002, this retailed for $50 US. That equated to about 13 cents a Lego element. But in today's dollars, in the 2024 dollars, it was around...
a little bit over $85.
$85?
Which was like almost 24 cents a piece, which...
That's pretty high.
Now, to be fair, there's not like all the little greebles you get on new sets. Look at all the big parts in the base and stuff. It was
That's true.
A lot of large elements, in fairness to it. But it's kind of like... See, when I got this, and I got it home, and I was looking up the numbers, because I like to do stuff. I like to know, like, what did it retail for? How much more did I pay than I would have paid? And it was like, whoa. This thing, if you translate for inflation, it was almost $100. So people complain about sets being expensive nowadays. Nowadays, there's not sets that are less than 400 pieces for almost $90.
And here's the deal.
It's almost like they've gotten cheaper.
And here's the deal. Value is not just price, but it's actually getting what you paid for. So an element of value is, did I get what I paid for? And when you're buying a Lego set, especially remembering that this is a kid's toy. We love Lego, but it's a kid's toy. When you buy a Lego set, you really want something a kid can play with, that he can hold, that he can fly around.
You got way more play value in this than you would get in a 358-piece set today. Way more.
Yeah, so I feel like that has to be taken into account. Is it more expensive price per part than other sets? Sure. But are you getting some value with those? Sure. So Micah, you are the ultimate judge of this ship today. So where does this land on the Super Proprietary Ultra Precise Lego Review System?
I mean, 24 cents a piece. So this is the Slave one from 2019. It retailed for like, I think, 120.
I feel like I'm going to break it.
And when you look at the size...
Oh, that one's so much cooler.
I mean, it is. But when you look at the size, they're the same size. There's just more bulk to this.
Oh man, you shouldn't have done this. Now I'm reminded how cool the clone ship is.
So what my point that I'm making in bringing this out, and it doesn't necessarily help it. Let's move it. But the point is, the size is about the same as that we retailed for 120. But it's still not good. I'm gonna give it probably $90. I'd like to have seen, like, other sets.
This is what we got.
I'm going to give it a 6.
A 6.
I'm more inclined to do 5, but other sets were probably just as expensive, so It is what it is, so I'm going to give it a 6.
All right, well, with that final 6 score, Micah, that puts Jango Fett's Slave 1 at a whopping 38.5 points.
I feel like it deserves 40.
What's amazing is that this is currently the highest ranking Lego set in our entire collection. And I know you're second guessing and hesitant of your score now, but it is what it is. The facts don't lie. That's why this system is super proprietary and ultra precise, because the numbers do not lie. This is a 38.5 set out of a maximum 50. And at the end of the day, these points matter not, because what you're really excited about is having this amazing set, your really cool exclusive briefcase, these 2 expensive minifigs, well, one expensive minifig and one that crushed my soul, a pristine book, a perfect box, and this guy.
Okay, actually there's one more thing I want to show.
Yes.
That's just cool.
Yes, I agree.
In the back of the book, there is all of these old advertisements for like the sets that came out back then, and I just think it's so cool.
Is it all just Star Wars?
All just Star Wars, yeah.
Oh, see, here's the problem. In my old adventurer books, they show Star Wars and adventures, and they give love to other genres, right? But Star Wars is like, no, we're the best. We're the only Lego set that exists. And they gave no love to my main man, Johnny Thunder.
Now, the funny thing here that I love is, so my next set, the original gunship, in the advertisement, one of the clones is holding his gun backwards without the stud on it. The other guys are just walking into battle without weapons, and the battle droids are just standing there.
I mean,
it's just kind of
we're better
funny.
than this. This is really cool, too.
Yeah, I have that. That's when I got at the convention. I got to see the one and built it.
Super cool. All right. Thanks for hanging out at the table with us as we unveiled this brand new, super proprietary, ultra precise Lego review system with you. And we scored our very first Lego set at 38.5. We hope that you enjoyed this time at the table. We hope that you come away a little more enriched, a little smarter, and a little more knowing about Jango Fett's Slave 1 and this clone. A clone. A clone! A clone. Hey, whatever you do, go out there, take these plastic bricks, and build beauty in the world around you. Hope you make friendships and relationships and tell stories and make connections. And we hope that you always share that smile. Why? Why? Why?
Because it's contagious.
It's contagious. Those smiles are contagious.
If we get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll break it down and build one of these alternate builds, and we'll review the alternate build. How about that?
You hear that? 1,000 likes on this video. 1,000 likes on this video. Micah breaks down Jango Fett's Slave 1 and builds whichever alt build gets the most comments in the video. So 1,000 likes, make it happen. See you next time.
Give more, do more, share more, and love.